Welcome to the Good Enough Gaming Podcast. We're a group of 30-something nerds who were raised on a healthy diet of video games and superhero cartoons, get together and talk about our experiences in gaming and pop culture. Join Daryl, Jordan, Kyle, and Trevor as we look at our gaming past, present, and future. Here's what we have in store for you today.
It doesn't even cost that much to go buy a real one at Walmart. Like, why does it cost me that much to buy it in the game?
Today's episode is entitled A la Carte E-Racing.
That was just a la carte racing.
Well, then why'd you put an E in there?
Because a la carte has an E on the end of it.
Has an E, Kyle.
Learn some French, you Canadian. Come on.
Today's episode is entitled A la Carte Racing. A new turbocharged successor has entered the unorthodox tracks of the gaming universe. And quite honestly, it's making us look at all the kart racing games of old as well as the new. And just questioning, what's next? Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged hit the market on October 19th, and just like the previous game, it set the bar high for what these arcade racers can do and bring the wide age of gamers and fans of the little Mattel cars we all had growing up and probably still have. So set up your favorite orange track and let us take you for a loop as we blaze through the world of kart racing games.
Nice.
Very nice.
I'm pretty sure I stepped on a few Hot Wheels on the way down here today.
I mean, I'm sure there's some just embedded in the drywall.
Home Alone moment where you slipped on those and then got hit by a paint can and then your hair was on fire.
That's why he has no hair. He lost it.
Do you have anything
Too
burned into your palm? No, you're good. Okay.
No handle burned into my palm. My son is not trying to off me with various toys around the house.
Yet.
Though the Lego dispersal
those were
upstairs.
micro machines that he used in the movie.
True.
Deadly.
Yes. So guys, we're talking about kart racers today. Before we get into Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, I want to know what you remember of early kart racers.
Oh, so much.
Like, obviously, like, you know, we can go back and look at.
He's getting loose.
My jam. I'm excited.
Get me ready.
I know retro would weigh in on this too, but if we skip away from like Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo,
just Mario Kart, flat out, just Mario Kart, all of them.
Diddy Kong Racing.
Yo, you can't
You can't start at the top. Like,
like, come on.
I'm sorry.
Like, come on.
Okay, then I'll go back since Daryl brought it up. Micro Machines Racing on the Sega Genesis was actually like a legit like kart racing game. It was so good, and like the level design was. They had cars, they had boats. Level design was really good for like a 16-bit, system.
Yeah. And
that, as far as you thinking about kart racing games, that's a great start.
It's so funny because Nintendo's done such a good job with like the Mario Kart franchise. Like from day one, that so many people have been like, how can we get all of our characters that we have licensed into a game?
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck it, put them in cars. Like there's one, I don't know if you guys remember this. Do you guys ever remember playing Street Racer for the Super Nintendo, which is Street Fighter characters?
Nope, but I need that now.
Racing cars.
Oh my God.
Like, pretty much like Mario Kart, like Super Nintendo Mario Kart, like the flat tracks, like just crappy graphics. And just like,
and it's legit, like it's a real game, or it's not like a modded.
When did that release?
1994.
Oh my God!
Dang. Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, like just I mean, it's the same thing. PlayStation has tried it 30 times now. There was Jack Combat X Racing, Crash Bandicoot, Crash Team Racing. The recent one actually wasn't awful. It had some flaws.
It was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. It was okay.
Yeah, there was some decent stuff.
You had Little Big Planet Racing. Like everyone's like, trying to.
I've actually played that. That's also Mod Racers
fun.
is a fucking good game.
I was gonna bring that
up. Mod Nation Racers for PS3. That was I wanted to talk about that one.
I remember we won that game from a Slurpee contest.
Yeah, the golden era of like Max and like going to the gas station to pick up Slurpees and shit. And we won that game.
Yeah.
What made Mod Nation Racers so iconic for the PS3 was one of the few kart racers that had a track builder. And it was solely built on like the Little Big Planet model of all right, community generated tracks. You can download and race anybody's creations.
PSP and PS3.
Yeah. Damn. And like the characters were super customizable, like everything about that. I think that kind of laid the groundwork for the Little Big Planet one. But it was such a good game.
Yeah, love that game. But played a ton of that on the PS3 when that came out.
Great game. I agree. Yeah. Great game. But I was literally just talking with my buddy who was visiting from Winnipeg, my buddy Ian from when I was a kid, and we were talking about like going to his house, having sleepovers, playing Diddy Kong Racing. Like that shit was hot fire on the N64.
Yeah.
So dope. So good. Like took Mario Kart and just made it better. Like it was
how many racing games have a boss fight in them?
Right?
Yeah.
And they were tough. Like as a kid, those were fucking tough.
Yeah. Well, everything was tougher when we were kids because the game only lasted 5 hours because you had to keep renting it. Nobody could afford an actual game to own.
There was no such thing back then of like a 50-hour game. They were all 5 or 6 hours.
They were 6 hours, but they were hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to throw a couple more throwback ones at you guys because I had a bit of an epiphany as some of more of my childhood. Playing Sega Genesis at my friend Ryan's house. There was 2 games. They were like racing games, but they were also sort of like battle racers. Do you remember either Skitchin or Road Rash?
I remember Road Rash.
Get those checked out, Kyle.
Skitchin.
He's got a little skitchin down there, and he's got a little rash.
My skitchin is itching, and just
Road Rash. I remember. I played that a ton. I had that on PC. So
Skitchin was the same vibe as Road Rash, but instead of riding motorcycles and beating people with a chain beside you, you're actually like rollerblading through the city and could grab onto the back of cars to like jettison you forward.
Oh, that's fantastic!
And you're also fighting guys at the same time. Both for the Sega Genesis, both were like crazy hard for what they were. But
I played a lot of Road Rash on my on my PC.
It's a different kind of racing, like kart racer, for lack of a better word, because there's the battle aspect is a little bit different than like a Mario Kart. We're like, I got this power up that like locks on and hits you.
There's nothing better than like pulling up beside a guy and just like whipping the chain, hitting them right off the bike, and just keep going.
Yeah.
I'll take things you can't put in video games now for 100, please.
I was gonna say that was just Daryl driving to work last week. Driving up beside a guy, hitting him with a chain.
Hey.
I don't need this tire iron anymore. It's going in your front tire.
I think
classic.
The one thing, going back to Diddy Kong, like I think Diddy Kong honestly set the bar for so many games going forward, being like you think of the crew, like even Summer Horizon stuff, right? You were like, okay, we got boats, we got planes, hovercrafts,
cars,
like. Because even now, like Lego 2K Drive is essentially Lego Diddy Kong, more or less, right?
And now a hard question for you guys: would you consider Diddy Kong better than Mario Kart 64?
I do. I do.
By yourself, yes.
Yeah, because like N64, everybody talks about Mario Kart 64. No. There's not many people that talk about Diddy Kong Racing.
Well, that's because they're uncultured.
Yeah, Mario Kart is more.
but
Mario
yes,
Kart was more accessible.
I agree with you, Daryl. Like from a gaming mechanics standpoint, Diddy Kong Racing is a better game.
Yeah,
and I don't think you can argue that. Like, it is a better game from a mechanics standpoint.
No, Kyle's right. Yeah, Mario Kart's more accessible. You had the races, you had the battle mode. The power-ups were a bit better. Diddy Kong, like, honestly, Diddy Kong was designed the same way that, like, Super Mario 64 and, like, those other RPG games of the time where it's like, or like Crash Bandicoot, where it's like, earn this many trophies, and now you get into this area.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's essentially, they took the Super Mario 64 model, and they're like, how can we turn that and then combine it with, like, Mario Kart, and made this kind of new genre of game. Yeah.
But those old kart racers too, they remind me of fighting games where, like, the golden era of having to either beat a cup or like beat a head-to-head race to unlock secret cars, secret characters, secret courses. Like, that was some of the most fun in those old kart racers. Was not everything was unlocked on day one, and then obviously, like, DLC didn't exist back then either, but like finding a brand new course or unlocking a new character that you had no idea even existed in the game, like, that shit was always the best feeling.
Which is awesome.
Do you think that games as a service model has ruined kart racers?
Yep.
A lot of it.
Trevor, you go ahead. Yeah.
Aside from Mario Kart, because Mario Kart 8 has been out for fucking years now.
And they just released, like,
they keep adding stuff, right? And some of it's free, which is great. Some of it, there was, like, the DLC add-ons, but, like, realistically, you get so much stuff.
Yeah.
And for years, everyone has just been trying to keep up with Mario Kart to be like, how can we even compete? Because that's, like, probably one of the first games you're going to buy with a Nintendo system, no matter what the system is, right? With GameCube, you had Double Dash, which was fucking unreal.
Yeah. So good.
Mario Kart 7 on the DS, like Jordan's saying, like, you beat the game, you got dry bones, you got unlockable characters. Like, they added the like the cart builder thing to it, right? Like, no one's been able to redo the magic that is Mario Kart. And that's the struggle. And PlayStation keeps thinking it's like a franchise problem. Like, right now, I think there's the Nickelodeon racer coming out soon. And there was a Disney one.
Go along with their fighting game.
And there's a Disney one that just came out too. And they're probably both
is that Speedstorm? Is that Speedstorm?
There's like Nickelodeon's All-Star Racing or something like that. Yeah. I can't remember. But
and
no
the
one
Disney
can
one
recreate
gets
it.
shit on because that's a free-to-play game. Like,
there's a lot.
So that's going to be chocked full of issues.
Bullshit.
And like targeted at kids too. Like, adults aren't going to play a free-to-play Disney racing game.
No, but let's charge $24 to play as Elsa.
Yeah. Hey man, you
that's
just gotta
going to
let
make
it
you
go.
the most money. That's going to be your most return on dollar.
Daryl, just freeze. Let it go. You got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me. Just don't touch me down there. Oh. Yeah, I think kart racers, there's a bit of an identity crisis right now because you do have a lot of developers that are going the free to play route and trying to do like seasonal passes.
Bastards.
And like, let's be real here. Hot Wheels does not get a clean slate pass on this.
No, they don't either. Because
the first Hot Wheels Unleashed was littered with microtransactions and like $8 cars.
Yeah,
they partnered with a lot. It doesn't even
cost that much to go buy a real one at Walmart. Like, why does it cost me that much to buy it in the game?
A digital Hot Wheels car.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, so and they were bad for that. Like, they had the whole like DC expansion. They had Monster Truck expansion. I wanted the DC one bad, but I think at launch, it was $25 just for the DC portion.
Yeah, I think I ended up getting it. I can't remember why, if I paid or I waited for a sale or something, but I did get it. It was really good. But yeah, I agree. When I first looked at it, I was like, you really? $25? Like,
Yeah, like it's just a lot of these games are proving if you have patience, you'll get rewarded because then you can get like the full, complete, holy shit edition for, on sale for the
$45.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
But for people that are early adopters and are like, oh, I got to have it now. I mean, I can only imagine how much they've paid and spent on Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
like, it's got to be what, like $150?
Well, the new turbocharged, brand new, the holy shit version that like came with that in the first 2 seasons, where it was $125 Canadian. Which I was like,
I'm not spending that on
I
Hot
loved
Wheels
Hot
game.
Wheels Unleashed 1. It was a great game. I had an absolute blast playing it. I'm not paying $120 for that game. Like, no, not a chance. I'm paying half the price for that.
Like, what new things were added to make it?
It does have more. I mean, we can talk about that more as if we talk about the game, but like, it does have more modes in this one, and you can double jump and do some stuff, dodge to the sides and stuff now, and like there are new driving modes. Like there's time trials and like get to the highlighted area and stuff. Like there's more stuff.
I was just gonna say,
exactly. Well, no, 100%. It's like that's exactly what it is, which is pretty cool. But it still has like some of the other inherent issues. Like this one has season passes. Like the other one had DLC content packs, and this one has season passes.
It did have seasonal content, Hot Wheels 1, but I can't imagine anyone got anything without paying for it. Yeah, because like Jordan said, you had to live 10 hours a day on Hot Wheels to like get a level of their season pass. Like it was so poorly programmed in terms of like reward
progression.
The progression was awful.
I was like, I would log in, play a couple things like once a day. I'd be like, I played that game a lot. Like that was me. That was towards the end of COVID. Things were still kind of locked down. I was like, I need a racing game. I played the shit out of Hot Wheels, and like most of the seasons, I would get to like level 10.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
And the stupid thing was, not every mode gave you experience progression towards the season.
Yeah, it was only online.
Yeah, so like if you bought that game late and you were gonna do like the story campaign mode, none of those races gave you experience towards the season, which that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I don't know who approved that.
Sure,
but that
fine. You want online to be the heavy component, make it worth more. But like at least give me something for everything. Yeah, like
that's
like you're playing created tracks that are like 10 seconds long, but impossible to do because somebody designed it like in the worst way,
just horribly.
Like, oh fuck! Like,
I think that's the biggest area where like Xbox or PlayStation could beat Nintendo, because Nintendo's online systems have been bad. Like I think they really only got it together for Mario Kart, and even then it's like iffy at best.
It's still shit.
But like
the system doesn't have voice chat.
No.
How does a console not have voice chat?
On a kind of side note,
T9.
Let me pull out my flip phone.
Exactly. Oh my gosh,
Jesus!
Let me flip open my Nintendo DS.
If they did a remake of Crazy Taxi and put it out for like $15-$20 with like an expanded map, 100% I'd buy that.
I think someone got in shit. They were redoing a version of either Crazy Taxi or Simpsons. The Simpsons Crazy Taxi.
The Simpsons one.
In like, was it in like Unreal 5?
Yeah,
it looked crazy. But then of course they got kind of copyright cease and desist. They're like, hey, maybe don't. It's like, oh man.
There was a Crazy Taxi mobile game, but it was shit.
Well,
like it was not.
You said the word mobile game.
Like said the word mobile game.
Now a throwback for you guys in the Hot Wheels era. Did any of you ever play Hot Wheels Turbo Racing on N64?
I did.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that's still the best Hot Wheels game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the cars were phenomenal, the tracks were great, but then that game focused a lot on every jump doing tricks, like barrel rolls and flips and everything, and you get turbo boosts and shit out of that. I still have just a ton of like childhood memories of playing that game.
Do you remember?
I get frustrated in the later parts of that game.
I think they make a lot of references to it in the new one, but do you guys remember like the old Lego kart racer? Like same thing, like what they have now where you can like brick by brick build your kart.
Oh, yeah.
And it had like the catchiest fucking like menu is like it's like in my head. And the same thing, you could like turn your car and you like build your car. Sort of like the new one, but just some of those old ones, right? Like you just can't capture that magic of couch co-op, like friendships on the line.
Yeah.
Racing games.
Like California Cruising and Rush and just like
there you
games
go.
like that.
Cruising
Like,
USA.
yeah, man. Like,
oh my god.
Just games like that. I'm like, like I can remember sitting in the arcade seats and playing those. And then like when they came out to consoles, I was like, oh shit. Like
now, technical question. Does Star Wars pod racing count as a kart racer?
I would throw
that
it
game
in
was
there.
fun
I would
as hell.
lend it.
That game was hard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was
I remember
hard.
it being really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that on N64, and with that controller, man, fuck, that game does not.
The Stingray.
It does not transition well. But honestly, like that's another great example. Bring back
franchise.
Bring back pod racers, like to
Star Wars people
think of it
love
on new engine.
Oh, yeah.
Think of it on like today's graphics and everything.
Make your own pod racer. Like,
Yeah, you got to deal with like
always wins.
Oh my God.
How the fuck do I remember
I
that?
was gonna say for a non-Star
yeah,
Wars
how
person,
do you
pull that out of
remember
your
that?
ass.
It's like,
that's
it's not even-
impressive.
Wow.
Dude, I wish I had answers for how my brain works, but
Like if you could make your own pod racer, like you could make your own spaceship on Starfield. Like, can you imagine what people could come up with? Like that'd
oh
be
my
sick.
god.
Go full RPG with it, and you've got to do like weight metrics, and you've got to have like proper power outputs.
Gran
like,
Turismo.
Gran
pod
Turismo.
racing.
Yeah,
Car racing?
like,
What's
dude,
your PP?
yeah, dude.
You gotta have your PP just right.
It's got to meet like NASCAR requirements of size.
Yeah,
Essentially, what we want
What's
is
a
we want
NASCAR PP size? I just
6 to midnight, Kyle. That's what it is.
like essentially what we want Need for Speed Underground, but like as a Hot Wheels car with someone hanging out the window throwing shit at the next person. Like that's
Yes.
deep down what I
Yes.
want.
I am surprised that PlayStation with how many more like iconic characters they've created in the PS3, PS4 era. Like, I'm surprised they haven't dipped their toe into the kart racer.
I
just
want
don't know
a
if it blends
Kratos
itself.
Vin Diesel crossover.
Like I can't even I can't imagine watching like
Lara
Kratos,
Croft.
Aloy, and Cloud racing in a cart against each other. Like I just
There was a
don't see
Chocobo
it.
racer.
I know there was, but like, that's like on brand for Final Fantasy.
But you're telling me that you wouldn't want to grab another cart with your blades of chaos as Kratos?
Just chuck a
And,
by.
like,
I'm not saying I wouldn't
like,
want
hook
to.
'em
I'm just
in?
saying.
Yeah, okay,
I just don't see
appeal.
it being like a game that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like they're pitching it at the meeting, being like, "We have all these amazing franchisees. Like let's put it together." And they tried to do that with that fighting game, and it was the worst flop of all time.
Nickelodeon
Like,
shit.
yeah,
That's
Okay,
fighting.
well,
Like that's fighting.
Hold
though.
on. Let's not slander PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale too much, okay?
Okay.
it's
What was
it was a flop.
I adore that game. It didn't sell well, but I like that game.
It was a flop.
Okay. But like that's like fighting. You got to give guys certain skills and shit. This is all driving. You could just
I know,
throw
but, like,
characters in a car.
There are already mini games in Final
But there's-
Fantasy for that. I'd like Kratos driving a cart. It doesn't like that. Does not.
It would be so
It doesn't
funny.
add up.
What about Jin Sakai driving a horse-shaped car?
Yeah, but then the
Like,
horse
Just
dies
driving a
every time you get
Trojan
hit.
horse. Like
Hey,
You got what? You got like Ellie. You got Ellie and Joel like out the side with a gun or something. Like what? What are you supposed to do with PlayStation? Like
just driving a clicker with wheels attached to it.
yeah, fuck, that'd be funny. Hey, I mean, you could have, you could reintroduce Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank as like.
I mean-
Yeah, but like that makes more sense to me. Like put those guys in with the Little Big Planet like sort of universe or whatever.
Yeah, I'll
that
give
shit
you
makes
that.
sense to me. Like
Didn't Jack and Daxter weren't they in a kart racer?
Jack X Racing, Combat Racing. It was one of the last
Yeah.
games. It was one of those things, right? The game was on the way out. They hadn't decided to do a Jack 4, and they're like, fuck it, swing for the fences. Let's see if we can get people back in on a racing game just based off of the name.
Right.
And it was okay.
Yeah.
But it, like, they
That
had
being
cool
said,
fun
bring
cars.
Jack and Daxter back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Them
The
Jack and
world is
asking
Daxter
for
on
it.
PS5 would
Oh.
be phenomenal.
Like,
Well, if
bring
they
back
look at
the
the success
platform.
of Ratchet and Clank, like what are they
Yeah.
waiting for? Like that's the same. Like it's
Oh, it drives me
same
insane.
right there.
It makes
Yeah.
me so
right
mad.
there.
You're like, what
Well,
are we
like
gonna do next?
honestly, like I like Jack and Daxter more than I like Ratchet and Clank. Like I
Same.
have
Yeah, I
more
agree.
fond memories
It's
about
darker.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Every
Yeah.
time they're like, Naughty
the guns
Dogs.
are cool.
They're like, Naughty Dog's done doing Uncharted. I'm like, bring back fucking Jack and Daxter. Please. Like, if you're doing the retro, we're going to get money because it's retro, like, renewal thing, that's the one to go for. That was probably one of the biggest PlayStation franchises that they just ignored.
Cash in on the nostalgia.
Oh,
We're
Now,
all guilty of indulging in it. Might as well hop on the train.
yep.
Now, the other one that I'd love to see come back just with like the new generation of hardware and what they could do is Wipeout for PlayStation. Like the futuristic, like kind of
I
like
do
pod
like Wipeout.
racers.
Those games were
Yep.
too fast for me. I found like some of the stuff was just
They were too furious, though.
no. They made me furious.
Ah,
I just
Okay, that's fair.
some of the hairpin turns and stuff with the air braking, and it didn't do it for me. But if Nintendo could bring back like F-Zero X in a
I
good
was,
way,
I was about to go there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would 100% play an F-Zero X.
I don't think the Switch could
What?
handle the speed of that game.
No, fuck yeah, that it would incinerate itself. Yeah, I'm
You're not allowed
surprised
to
like
bring
the
switches on a plane.
futuristic. The
What if this game is
futuristic
realistic? My
racers.
controller's getting hotter.
Yeah, like futuristic racers. I'm surprised there aren't more of them. Because there's so much that you could do with like customization options and
Imagine an
track
F-Zero X
builders.
with customization.
There was a game.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check my
Take my money.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Oh, research time.
There was
We
a
are
game I
prepared,
tried recently.
folks.
Oh, God.
well, there's Red Out 2. Is that what you're
it
thinking
was.
of, Trev?
Yes, Red Out 2
Yeah.
that was out on PS Extra recently.
Yeah.
And they took like essentially F-Zero X, but then added like flight sim shit to it with like how you control the car, and you have to like do stuff to do like pitch and yaw if you're in the air to make sure you don't crash. And it was-
Oh,
Watch
no.
I mean, that I think took it too far, right? Like I think that's the problem with
Yes, I think so
PlayStation
far.
is like PlayStation's like Gran Turismo, The Crew, like they're trying to do these like sims. And then when they think of these kart racers, they're kind of like, fuck it. Just give me a compilation of whoever we have licensing for, and we'll do, like Nickelodeon, and we'll just like put together a game and it'll be fine. It's just like, no, like
It's
the
half-assed.
magic
Like,
of
it's-
the kart racer. Yeah, it's just,
Well, I think what makes a lot of these games fail is that balance. They either are too easy and too kid friendly, and there's not enough depth, and the mechanics aren't very good.
Yeah.
Or like to your point, Trev, it's way too simulation heavy, and it's like, well, you're not going to get the younger child demographic that's going to jump in and want to play that.
Yeah.
And like,
gotta find the
to have a
perfect
good
balance.
kart racer, you have to have both.
Yeah, gotta
to
find
make
that
it do.
perfect. And that's the same thing, Mario Kart, right? Like Kyle's playing with his kids, he can turn it on 50cc. For him, it might be a little slow, but for them, they're learning the game. It's achievable. But then once you get, once you've learned the game, you
I
can
think
up
that's
the
just
power.
his speed, Trevor.
But like, there's so much you can do in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nice thing with that too, though, is the accessibility option. Like being able to turn it on where it like either auto
Steer
steers
assist.
or auto accelerates for you. Like I can play with my 8-year-old who can remember to hold down the gas and kind of steer, and I can play with my 5-year-old at the same time who can't remember anything, is just happy to be there.
He's just watching the colors.
He's totally steering, Dad. He's
Yeah.
totally steering, but he's still participating as part of it, and will eventually learn, hold the gas, steer, that sort of thing. But it's like varying levels of accessibility that lets kids build up to it, right?
Yes.
We don't
That
see
is
that
what's
in
nice,
a lot
like,
of games.
Yeah.
In the same regard, what's nice about Mario Kart, like throughout the ages, is that it has those different CC levels. So you're able to play the kart racer without learning too much of the fine tuning like components of it. So like in 8 or Infinite, whatever you want to call it, it's like it's really heavy, and so is Crash Team Racing, really heavy on the power slide, like the continual power slide driving.
Boost.
Whereas like if you're getting that boost and you're doing those movements and you can just like do the whole track doing that, you're gonna zip through and like you're gonna achieve kind of like the desired outcome from. But you don't have to do that at the lower CC levels, and you can still be successful. You can drive normally, and I think that's important. The only thing that drives me mental is if you're going to have that speed and that components in there, like don't make that the only place for unlockables, because like not everybody is going to spend the time to fine craft the skill to do that.
Or with Crash or with like Hot Wheels, like you have to do the shortcuts. You have to know.
Yeah, like you have to.
You don't have a choice. Yeah.
Crash was like Hot Wheels was bad for it. Crash was crazy because there's so many shortcuts. I'm like, I didn't even think of that shit. And there's people cutting corners and flying around and stuff. But like
in Hot Wheels, you could still win all the races.
Yeah.
But you couldn't win those time trials without
the time trials. You had to know where all the shortcuts were.
Turn around, go back up the room, go up the baseboard, and then get back on the track. You're like, no fucking way. No one's gonna find like
drive through the air conditioning duct and
like Mario Kart was at least like, here's a ramp. If you have a boost, there's the shortcut, right? Like it's so blatantly obvious. You're like, cool. I just have to have the right component. But Hot Wheels is
accessible for everyone.
Yeah, Hot Wheels is so bad for that. I'm just like, what? Like you have to Google this shit. You're like, who figured this out? Like,
but Hot Wheels, like in the new one, in the new,
I haven't seen.
They kind of got rid of that in the sense that there's way more checkpoints. So there's
smart.
Yeah.
So like they kind of got rid of like and especially with the addition of like the double jump, like you can jump and like get out of trouble and like jump right over,
save yourself,
complete
like
obstacles.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare now.
Yeah, so it's like
having
that bullshit. Basically would have been like it would have been so easy to cheat any track. So I think they put more checkpoints to alleviate that kind of mechanic,
which is good because playing Hot Wheels online was stupid.
Yeah, it's almost people were like finishing 3-minute races in a minute and 20 seconds, like flying everywhere.
Yeah. So, sorry, finish your thought.
No, go ahead, Kyle.
Speaking of checkpoints,
nice.
We've reached one right now, and we're gonna take a. You like that? You like that?
So good
transition there. Yeah. We're gonna take a little checkpoint break here and roll into our segment this week, which happens to be another fantasy face-off. Fantasy face-off. Fight.
All right, welcome back to the Danger Dome. Fantasy face-off in full effect. For anybody that doesn't know what that is when I pick two characters or groups of characters from different franchises, pit them in the pit in the fight to death, and we decide who is the winner. And this week is like it's just keeps coming up. This one topic, and I really feel like it resonates because I picked this a long time ago, and I found out that there's going to be a new show made for it. Is one of the groups, and I was very excited. And Jordan can attest, I picked this matchup a long time ago. So I'm calling this matchup the Battle of the Resurrected, and it's 90s themed. So for all of our listeners that are in our demographic, you're going to love this.
Only 90s kids
remember.
Two
major shows. We have Mummies Alive versus the Gargoyles.
Oh, baby. Team up. Oh, so
and if you don't know what Mummies Alive is, you gotta look it up right now.
Go watch that show. It is so good.
It's so good.
Ugh, Daryl. Why do you got to do this to us?
Tough 90s cartoon. Now, is this like team on team, or is this like
It is full team on team.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it early.
Oh,
I know what you're picking.
Mummy's Alive. Like it has to be. There.
I actually thought Kyle was going to go Gargoyles.
I did
thought he was
too.
going the other way.
No.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
No, it's Mummy's Alive. Like you watch their transformations, you watch their skill sets and all that sort of thing. They complement each other so well. The Gargoyles wouldn't stand a chance.
Oh,
Yeah, Mummy's Alive.
It's a
was
no-brainer.
Like, Mummy's Alive kind of fell into
Kyle's
like the
saying
kung
that they got
fu.
this one wrapped up.
Yeah.
Oh, because yeah, I would say,
Gargoyles are looking stoned out there.
Hey.
because I would say what Mummy's Alive definitely fell more into like the martial arts side of things, right? Whereas Gargoyles
Yeah.
is more of like street sharks,
Brawler.
like bikers
just-
fighting. Bikers
Yeah.
for good.
Biker mice from Mars.
Yeah,
Another great show, by the way.
Wow,
fantastic.
this is a throwback to last season when I pit the biker mice from Mars
against
versus
the
the
pizza
samurai
cats.
pizza cats.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do like an
Samurai Pizza
Anchorman
Cat.
battle royale. Anchorman battle royale of all
90s.
the 90s cartoons.
All the 90s shows.
90s
Street sharks,
ensembles.
biker mice. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do Mummy's Alive as well.
Whoa! I'm shocked
it's-
that you picked that.
Yeah, I love Gargoyles to death, but yeah, I mean, it's like
They're outmatched.
a bar brawl versus like MCU Voltron level shit with Mummy's Alive. Like you got Power Rangers meets Voltron, transforming into these characters.
The one dude regrows an arm when he transforms. That's some
True.
Bucky Barnes shit.
It's true, he does. Yeah, they're just more abilities, more technologically advanced, better powers.
I'm pretty sure they got some like Egyptian gods on their side. Like there's some other shit
Yeah.
going
By
on
the
there.
power of Ra.
For sure, someone
fuck
says
it,
that.
yeah.
Right? Yeah,
I gotta
that's
rewatch that
correct.
show, man.
That
I
is an
gotta
Egyptian
rewatch
god,
that show.
Kyle. Good job.
But
The sun god.
it's Mummy's Alive, man. I don't think there's any doubt about who wins that.
Trev, is it a sweep or are we going the other way?
It's a sweep. That's a wrap. It's a sweep. It's
Yeah.
Put him in a sarcophagus.
yeah.
Damn.
Take out my organs and call me a mummy. That's a wrap.
Thought I made a better matchup, a little more contentious, but
Did
Mummy's
you-
Alive takes it.
It's
I
a
appreciate them
no-brainer.
both equally, but
yeah.
Yeah.
this is a
Yes.
fight. Because
Yeah.
don't the
I'm
gargoyles?
just saying, in all the Gargoyles episodes, they always beat the cyber,
Well, so-
hyper technological, advanced versions of themselves
But
all
so
the
do the
time.
mummies, though,
that
don't they?
Thanatos makes.
But the
Yeah,
mummies
like-
do the same thing, right? But aren't the gargoyles
I know.
also like vampires where they can't operate during the day?
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure
You
the
can't
mummies
break
is
them.
just like a magic. Is it a magic scarab? I'm trying to remember the show. They like summon them.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. Mummies.
It's just saying it's like a nighttime battle downtown Manhattan. Like,
Mummies.
Mummies.
Mummy's got it. Okay. Well,
Yeah. Who do we have
you
to talk
heard
to
it here.
to get
If
this
they're
show
wrong,
back?
if Trevor, Kyle, and Jordan are wrong, you have to let us know. But if you agree in Mummy's Alive, then let us
Also
know
let
as well.
us know.
Gargoyles
'Cause
I
is
like
coming
being
back
right.
though. Gargoyles
Yes,
is making a
Gargoyles
It's
is
comeback.
coming back.
Yeah.
Live action. I
Oh,
can't wait to see how tossed and turned everyone gets when the female detective falls in love
With a gargoyle.
with the main gargoyle.
He's okay. Wait.
Dwayne
spoilers.
Rock confirmed. Dwayne The Rock Johnson as the gargoyle.
Spoilers. The
Yikes.
gargoyle is going to be rock hard.
Oh.
Ew.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Can we spin the wheel? Can we pull a U-turn? Can we go back to what we were talking about?
Uh,
All
So
right.
good.
So thanks Daryl for that face off. It was more of a beatdown of
yeah,
historical
sweet.
proportions. But bringing it back to our kart racing world here, I want to talk a little bit more about Hot Wheels before we do some more speculation here. So what are we seeing in this new one that differs from previous?
So in terms of abilities, you now have double jump. You have a like sliders because there's new obstacles in the game, or like there's like rolling rocks and stuff, and so like they're coming in sort of lanes down the track.
Okay,
like
so you have to like jump off to the side to dodge it and then keep going, kind of thing. So those are new components. And you can also bump other cars like off the track, so it's like road,
kind of like Mario Kart with the weight.
It's like, oh, you can do this.
Yeah, there's kind of like a weight thing where you can like hit people if you have a heavier car.
Yeah, and then there's different modes, and they've put the cars into 6 different categories. Although, like, really, you could argue there's only really 3.
And they added new ones this time, right?
Off the bat.
Yeah,
there's
there was the Monster
cars.
Truck expansion in the last one, and now those are considered like
standard
heavy hitters in this one. There's drift specialists. There's a Swift vehicle, which is like motorcycles, because motorcycles is new in this one. And then there's like the balanced, which is like
just the race cars.
A nice crossover.
Speed and handling kind of mixed together. There's like there's the super fast ones, like the streamlined vehicles. And then there's off-roaders, because this one does have different terrain that does different things to your car in the game. So, which is really kind of cool. So you're tweaking, and now every car doesn't just have those like power bars where you're just putting like the tune-up and it just gets better stats. This has like actual power-up things that you actually have to allocate. Stuff to. So you can balance out, like if you're like, oh, I really like this off-road car, but it doesn't have enough power. When you're upgrading it, you can spend it to upgrade the speed, which will, get rid of some of the benefit of the off-road experience, but you're just going to get a faster car that can handle different terrain. And so you really get to pick your kind of car and what you want to do with it. It does force you to use other cars on certain tracks compared to the last one. So you're probably not just going to get the Koenigsegg Jesko and ride it out in that for the rest of the game.
Hey, I had the Raptor car in the first one. I had
that thing also kicked ass.
Yeah, I had the Batmobile, and I used that thing for like 90% of my playthrough. That thing was fucking quick.
Yeah. So like you're gonna try other stuff. There's different game modes in the new Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. So similar to like some of the other kart racers, like there's like Destruction Derby battle mode in this one, which is awesome.
That's cool. That's cool.
Super welcomed. There's like the time trial still kind of. Is there like a drift mode? Is there like drift? There is drifting. There's a drift mode that is based off of points for drifting. Which gets harder in the story mode for whatever reason, because like they're putting you in the worst possible car,
of course,
to do those drifts. Right. And then then there's like the get to the checkpoints, which don't follow a track. Like they're just spots that you have to like try and get to as quick as possible using the track that's around the room and the room itself to get there, which is kind of fun. So.
And they still probably have, I'm guessing they still have the track builder and like the room.
Yes.
I'm a mega millionaire that has an entire basement dedicated to Hot Wheels room.
To Hot Wheels. Yeah.
I haven't really explored if there's like the room builder, but there is new venues. So like last time it was like the construction building. There was the skateboarding
skate park
vibed place. Yeah. This one has like an old school arcade.
Sick.
Fucking looks phenomenal.
Sweet.
There's like the old timey gas station. Like, so that's like really cool. Your house is like the backyard. So like the backyard is loaded. And then there's like a dinosaur museum. Like you're driving through like going through the Royal Tyrrell Museum. Like it's actually sick.
That would be so sweet.
Yeah. So really cool stuff involved in this game, and everything looks so good. Like the first game looked so visually good.
Yeah.
This takes that to like the next level. They're like the details on the cars when they put these in and loaded them in, like they really went for it. You can see like leftover paint like on the spoilers of some of the cars. Like they like literally whatever car that they modeled, they took right out of the package scanned it and just like loaded it in with all of those fine details. Like if it's a metal piece, it looks metal. If it's like a hard rubber piece, it looks like that. Like all the cars in the game look so good. Like so good.
I remember that in the first one, like the customization you could do with like the different types of plastic and the different paint colors and like if it's transparent or not, like it was unreal. Whoever like did the graphics for those did an amazing job because those cars are insane.
So good.
Does that game does it have a photo mode? The
cars looked great in the first one. They look even better now.
Do they have a photo mode? Someone get first person shot.
Not that I know of.
That'd be crazy.
Good Dead Space.
Yeah.
We'll cut that out.
Great. Yeah, of course we will.
I said my part.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Daryl, thanks for the recap on Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. I want to know what your guys' like wish list would be, or like what can we do to build a good Mario Kart 9? Because they need. I mean, they've been sort of coasting on the Switch in Mario Kart 8 since the Wii.
I think they're just holding out for the Switch 2 or whatever it's called.
Oh my god!
And I think that's going to be probably one of the premier games for that system.
It'll be a launch. It'll be a launch title. Yeah.
So what do we want to see in Mario Kart 9?
I've said this for a while, but like what they did with Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yes.
Like I think
I already know where you're going with this.
Like you kind of have to do that with Mario Kart now. Like Smash Bros. Is such a long running franchise, and the culmination of adding every single character, every single stage, and then building off of that with new DLC characters, like that was so well done and so perfectly balanced. I don't know how you balance that, but like that's what they need to do with Mario Kart 9. They need to every character that's ever been in a Mario Kart game and every track, and like a lot of the old school tracks have made their way to Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Like I think that game's up to 96 tracks now with all the expansions and stuff. But there's still a lot of missing characters. There's a lot of missing carts. You know, all of that stuff needs to come back, I think.
I agree. And I would take it a lens for I want unlockables back in Mario Kart. I want accessible unlockables in Mario Kart.
Achievement unlockables.
You want to work for it, but not too hard.
But not pay for it.
Like I want to be able to like go through the 100 to 150 cc race without having to perfectly power slide through everything and unlock like all of the carts. Like I want to be able to unlock other type like kart types and things like that. That was my same gripe with Crash Team Racing, although that was like even grindier and had the shop and like the random drop shit. Like whatever. Don't even get me started with that shit. But like I want to be able to go in there. I want you to make me play the whole game. Make me play all the cups and try to get through the levels of those cups.
Yeah.
And unlock things along the way. Like make it worth my while as opposed to just getting a win. Like and getting the trophy. I want to unlock Dry Bones. I want to fucking drive as Dry Bones. Like he's my favorite Mario like party character. I just want to drive as Dry Bones. But like start throwing in some of the you have the licensing. You have it for Smash Bros. Start putting some of these other characters in it. Like start dropping some other like random IP. Like, put Marth and Ness and like characters like that in
all of them
in Mario Kart. Put them in there. Like people are gonna fucking eat that up.
If you threw Pikachu into a cart, people would lose their fucking minds.
Oh. Fucking Pokemon Racers.
I was just gonna say Pokemon Racing would be such a sick IP.
Why does Nintendo have like the fucking monopoly on awesome like groups for kart racing?
Yeah,
because that's what makes it like that. Mario Party, like Mario Kart, like they have so many recognizable characters, right? Like Crash Bandicoot, there's like what you can name like 3 characters, and then
Crash.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty much
that's
it.
my
And
experience.
you'd recognize 2 or 3 of them, right? But after that, you're like, I
Yeah.
don't know these people. But like, you can name the entire Mario Kart lineup.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I could
100%.
easily rattle off 10.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem with
Do it. Prove
every
it.
other franchise. Nah.
on the spot.
Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Wario, Waluigi, Shy Guy, Yoshi,
Nice.
Dry Bones.
Always going for bonus points.
Donkey Kong.
You said Donkey Kong.
I already said Donkey
Did
Kong.
I say I already said Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
I'm trying to envision the list.
Yoshi.
What makes me
I said
happy
Yoshi.
is none of his top 10 had Toad, and that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Shit.
Toad, Diddy Kong.
No.
Boo.
You know what also was out of that list? Fucking Baby Mario.
Any of the baby characters.
Yeah.
I
those
don't count
fucking
those.
guys out of
Those
there.
don't count.
That is on my other part of my wish list for Mario Kart 9.
Get rid
Do
of
not put any baby characters in it, or
No.
I'm out.
Rosalina?
Deal breaker.
What was the girl from Mario Odyssey?
Rosalina.
Rosalina?
Yeah.
What's the Lady Bowser name? Because that's
Bowsette.
Bowsette.
I didn't even know there was one.
Oh, yeah, the internet went weird
Yeah,
for a
it
bit
was-
there.
Oh, yeah.
I need Tanuki
Trevor went
Mario.
down some weird rabbit holes.
As long as
Bring back
Tanuki
Birdo.
Mario is there, then I'm good.
Yeah, Birdo. Bring back the camera guy. Like the little, I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
He's got a
yeah.
name. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But that would be. Oh, go Jordan, go.
Sorry, no, Trev, you go.
I think the big one that they could add to make Mario Kart a whole other thing.
Make Mario Kart great again.
Correct. Is to like do like a Mario 64 or do some like unlockable story. Like give me a actual, like whether it's poorly written like every other Super Mario game, you know, the princess is in another castle bullshit. Like give me a
Shots fired.
well, give me like a single player story mode, right? Like something where as a person, I'm more invested than just like doing races. Like you can do quick races in Mario Kart anytime. And like, you know, online, couch co-op, whatever. But like give me kind of like a
Win this cup.
yeah.
Now win this cup.
Well, give me just like a
Win
little
this
bit
cup.
more direction with it, I guess, versus just like, you know, the Gran Turismo menu of like, I want to do the Leaf Cup and I want to do this one, right? Like it's just there's kind of two sides. There's like the point and click, I just want to play in 30 seconds, and then there's like the I kind of want to get more out of it side of it.
Just give me the storyline of Speed Racer, but make it Mario.
Yeah.
Just speed. Give me the storyline of speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Mario,
would
you
be
can't go below 55.
Your cart's gonna blow
All
up.
the toads on the bus.
There's a blue shell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the toads.
There's a blue shell strapped to the bottom of the bus.
just a bunch of toads screaming on a bus. No one can grab the handles; they're all too short.
It's just like a pack of marbles just rolling around inside a container.
If Jordan was driving that
Just
bus, he'd just
fucking-
jump right out of the driver's
Yeah,
door and
just crash it on purpose.
I'm out.
Yeah,
Good luck,
fuck
guys.
That, yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool if you had like, you know, like in the 2D Mario games where you had like the worlds
Yeah,
and you had to like move to the next stage.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
on like this beautiful, kind of drawn out
A world map.
yeah.
Yeah, like it'd be cool to even have something like that for a campaign or story mode. You know, like Trevor said, just to flesh things out a little bit more. I think that would be
Mario
super cool.
Grand Tour.
Do it.
yeah.
I mean, that was
Yeah.
the cool thing about Hot Wheels is like you used like one of those like Mattel, like
That's the floor mats.
city floor
It's the-
mats. That's how you
Yeah.
got to the
Oh,
races.
so
I was like,
good.
this is fucking
Yeah.
genius.
Such a
Love that.
wonderful touch.
Yeah,
But cameos from Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond,
I mean, Richard Hammond is just Toad.
James May.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have them do a Mario Kart Grand Tour and have them announce it. It would be so
Yeah, they're the
fucking
announcers.
funny.
Like they're the
The
Because that
announcers
is,
would
like-
be hilarious.
honestly of all the games, like nothing is Crash Team Racing with those announcer chickens is like the best part of that game and what all of the rest of them are missing.
Like
It's
lean
funny.
into it. Make
Yeah.
it goofy.
That
Like,
shit is so
it's goofy.
funny.
Yeah. That would be really funny.
Bring back Muppets Racing and get the two old guys.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Statler and Waldorf.
Okay,
Take all my money.
Oh my
Take
god.
all my money.
Statler and Waldorf being the announcers at the track would be so good.
Oh, fuck, that would be hilarious.
Nobody told that guy all you had to do was make left turns. He couldn't get it
right. My coaching partner and I have been teamed as Statler and Waldorf by our admin team.
Okay, I was gonna say definitely not your students because they have no fucking clue who those people are.
No, they have no idea.
No, but we've been identified as those two.
Oh, fuck,
God,
that'd be
that's
so
the
Oh my
best.
god.
That's great.
We just came up with $1 million idea, you guys.
Yeah, Muppets Racing.
guys.
There was a
Muppets
Muppets Racing. It was on the PS1. There was a Muppets Racer on PS1.
Kermit the Frog
back.
here.
I'm about to lap your ass.
I'm about to turn Miss Piggy into back bacon. Eat my desk, Grover.
In this era, we need a Muppets Racer where you have all of the Muppets, and then you get the one real person to have done like live capture to be the cameo character from like the Muppets movie to just be in the game. Just be like, what's
It's Jason Segel.
Yeah, there's just one human. Yeah.
what the hell am I doing here? Some like weird
The intro is just like, it's time to start your engines. It's time to light the lights.
Need some like weird Space Jam kind of theme to it, where it's like a bunch of Muppets and then one real person. Get Lewis Hamilton in it. Fuck it.
The best racer in the game is Animal.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Except all his steering controls are backwards.
Oh my god.
It's powered by his drum set.
When you want to go and get your car upgraded, you go to Beaker.
Yeah.
He's got his own shop. Just get everything customized.
All right, back to Mario Kart.
The Swedish chef is the
so-
crew manager.
So I've got something for Mario Kart 9 that I know Daryl would be all over. And that's Mario Kart 8 had like different vehicles and like different wheels and stuff.
Sort of, yeah.
Take that one step further and like allow us to change the colors.
Yes.
And like
Put a spoiler on it.
Yeah, like be able to tweak the visual customization
Mario
of some of
Kart
that
Underground.
Underglow, the whole shit.
Yeah.
Like let's
like I don't need it to be. I don't need like a livery system of the like
just
I
let
don't
me
need any
change
of that.
the color. Like,
But just being able to change the color and stuff would be super cool. Or even like a transmog system where it's like, I love the stats of this, but I want to drive as this.
Yeah.
Like, just let me switch the visual aspect.
You know how I
of
know
it.
you play RPGs?
said transmog.
I did say transmog, yes.
Yeah.
I agree that
maybe not Mercedes-Benz DLC crossover.
they did some weird stuff.
Yeah, that was weird.
They did some weird stuff.
off-putting
I agree.
choices.
Like if you put in some like kind of RPG elements with the cars, like whether that's unlocking, like I remember I think in 8 you unlocked certain wheels and there's a couple parts like the umbrellas and shit that you got, but like give me some like other things. Right. So
It'd be cool to even have like engine swaps.
yeah.
So like this engine is going to make your car way faster, but your traction sucks now.
Yeah.
Like it'd be cool to even to be able to do that. Like I'd even be okay with having upgradable aspects to the cars.
Yep.
We were laughing about Biker Mice from
Don't
Mars.
introduce currency.
No, God.
As long as there's only one currency.
Yeah, if it's just like
Currently there's
in-game earnable.
Yeah.
But like Biker Mice from Mars on the Super Nintendo, that game, in between races, you could buy upgraded engines. You could buy upgraded armor for your vehicle. You could let me do that in Mario Kart. Well, let me be able to get
Put up like
better engine.
let me buy a shell
whatever.
blocker where like I get hit once and it's a freebie. Right, like some sort of a
that would be a game changer
But
for
like
them.
you
That'd
can
be
only
awesome.
get like sort of like Need for Speed where you've got the different things to deal with cops. right? Give me like a one-time use item, like an oil slick negator, or like if I hit a banana once, it just like chews it up and spits it out.
Yeah, you get sprayed with ink and you just like wipers pop up on your TV, just wipe off.
That would be amazing.
Just like a one-time per race, like give me some sort of like a defensive mechanic.
Counters.
Yeah,
like a defensive counter.
And then also
that would be awesome.
Keep adding to like crazy power-ups. Because like they added like what is like the boom box, like the sound thing. Obviously the squid has kind of been off and on for a while. Yeah, the bullet.
Well, with the new Mario game, like give me a power up where I turn into a fucking elephant. I don't know what that's going to do for me.
I do want them to do away with one, like, because and again, I make lots of comparatives to them because I think it's the two I played the most was like Crash Team Racing, most recently, anyways, in Mario Infinite. Get rid of the like collecting coins or collecting apples to gain speed to go faster throughout the race. Give me something that is solidified as that's the speed I'm going that time, and that's it. Like, if you want to do the power slide thing, like that's your extra caveat to the game to make your vehicle go faster. But get rid of the fucking collecting whatever along the way
to
make your vehicle faster. Is stupid.
Mm-hmm. Just give me speed things like speed arrows on the track.
Yeah, which they do.
Just like like just let me drive over that and that be enough.
Because it makes
I don't need anything else.
Well, because it makes getting hit like double bad, right? Because you're getting hit, so you're already spinning out and you're getting past, and then you're losing like 3 or 4 coins. Yeah, and then you're even slower. It's just like, I mean, Mario Kart already has kind of that like tracker system, right? Where if you're in last, you're going to be getting fucking blue shells all day, right? Yeah. And if you're in first, you're barely going to get a green shell. So it's like you already have a system in place to kind of balance the field. It's like you don't also need to add this extra mechanic.
Yeah, no,
I agree.
And bring back double dash. Bring back a double dash mode. That game, I mean, they've got the double power ups now, which is lame. The double dash was super fun.
Yeah. Even just make it its own separate mode if you want to, just for like balancing purposes. Totally. Like that would
be like a fun like party game mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just different online.
Because I love the battle mode in Mario Kart is also awesome. Like I also love that. The 3 balloons. A really good one. That's your light. Like go battle it out. Nothing but shells. Like I think that shit is so funny. I love that.
Green shells only, no slappers.
No slappers.
Slappers only.
Till you get a banana and then you're like, oh, I'm an idiot.
No odd job.
Yeah. The fucking worst.
Well, guys, I think we got to drive this across the finish line.
Oh,
we could. Nice. I know. I'm on it.
With a nail on it today.
We've rounded the final bend. We've hit that finish line. I think we finished first in this. Our ideas are impeccable.
It's time to pull off the Rainbow Road.
Yeah, they should obviously sign us up for our ideas because think tank. Yeah. We got it right here.
Creative directors.
Okay. $1 million ideas are pumping out of this podcast.
Yeah, pay us millions, please.
We don't miss.
So, thank you again for joining into the Good Enough Gaming Podcast. We appreciate your continued listenership. If you have any other ideas about kart racers that we missed that would make the whole genre better, let us know. We want to hear. Please. Because we need some good kart racers again.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Great. So I think that's good enough.
It's good enough.
Good enough.
Yeah, good enough.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for more content. We also invite you to write an email or join us on Discord to talk about anything from our episodes or something else you would like to discuss in the future. Please subscribe to the Good Enough Gaming Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. And remember, we might not be great, but we are good enough.